I used to hate storytelling, especially in group settings. I'd overthink every single word, looking for that perfect moment, and then at the end, just stay quiet. But it wasn't that I didn't have any stories. I just didn't know how to tell them in a way that felt natural. That only changed when I discovered a different approach to do it. One that is actually perfect for introverts. So, what is that approach? It's actually pretty simple. Tell micro stories. Let me explain. Most people think in order to tell a story, it needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. Something well structured and sometimes even a few minutes long. But for introverts, speaking for 2, 3, 5 minutes straight, well, that can be pretty nerve-wracking, right? Now here's what I realized. You don't need to tell the whole story. You can tell those micro stories. These are just snippets of that real-life experience, shared in, I would say, a slightly more vivid way. So instead of thinking, I need to walk them through everything that happened, think, can I just bring one moment to life? And once you see how those works, you'll actually feel much more comfortable telling those longer stories also in any situation. But let me give you a few quick examples of how you can tell those micro stories. So let's say today you were stuck in traffic. Sure, you could tell now the full story, right? How your day was so rough, how you had back-to-back meetings, how you left work totally drained, and how you got stuck in traffic for an hour, how the roads were packed and all you wanted to be is back home. Now sure, hey, you can tell that full story. But let's be honest, speaking for minutes might feel kind of awkward, right? And also, oftentimes it could be a little bit boring. So instead, zoom into one specific moment. Here's what that might sound like as a micro story. So just today, I was sitting in my car, stuck in traffic, thinking, this is madness. Like, how's the traffic so bad at 1 p.m.? Man, I hate this city. Do you see? Similar story, but now you're into the moment. It's real, it's emotional, it's personal. You can zoom into the moment by sharing the inner dialogue. Share what you were thinking in that exact moment. But let's look at another example. Let's say you got some praise at work. Sure, you could tell now the full story. How you spent the day preparing for that big presentation, how you were nervous before, how you walked into the meeting, how you powered through the slides, and how your team seemed to like it, and how afterward your manager came to you and said you did a great job. Sure, hey, you could tell that full story. But again, speaking for minutes might actually feel quite awkward, and oftentimes it might not land as well. So again, zoom into a specific moment. Here is what that might sound like as a micro story. Today my manager walked over and said, hey, that presentation, you nailed that one. Like seriously, great work. And I just stood there smiling like this 10-year-old boy who had just won the lottery. Same story, but now we're in the moment with you. It's clear, it's specific, it's memorable. In that example, I zoomed into the moment by sharing the outer dialogue. So instead of just summarizing what happened, say the exact word that someone said to you in that specific moment. Quote that other person. Those little shifts will make your story feel much more real. But hey, here's your challenge. Now, think of the next person you'll talk to today. Maybe it's a friend, a coworker, or your partner. Now imagine they ask you something simple like, hey, how was your day? Or what have you been up to? Or has there been anything interesting that happened to you lately? Now before you give again this generic answer, stop and ask yourself, how can I zoom into just one moment? What were you thinking? What did someone say to you? Maybe what did you feel in that moment? That's it. And when you talk to that person, just share this one micro moment. If you just do that, you will already be telling better stories than most people out there. But hey, if you found this today helpful and want more tips like this, you may want to check out this next video in which I share some of the daily habits to become a magnetic storyteller. There, you'll actually learn how to take those micro stories and bring them to the next level. See you there.